Hey everybody, it's your girl Miss Kimberly J, and I'm doing a video response to Akat042001's video regarding black women, Asian and white men are not attracted to you. Um, I don't even know where to start. This video, when I saw it, it touched me so much that I felt I had to do a response. I'm pretty sure, I'm seeing this video has been circulating all over the internet, not just YouTube, but everywhere. It's on Facebook. It's on, I think, WorldStarHipHop.com. It's like all over. But basically, I was contacted by a friend of mine, and she forwarded the link to me, and just I was like, wow. I'm glad she warned me. So there's so much that was said in that video that I found to be offensive, and I just think it should be addressed. One thing I can say to you, Miss Akat, I don't know your real name, but one thing that will get you or anybody into a lot of trouble when it comes to what you say is when you use the word most. Words like majority, all those types of words will get you into trouble, because let's just be honest about it. You don't know every single black woman in the world. As far as I know, I don't know what you do as a career wise, but even with studies, when they do different psychological studies, that's just a sample, and they're trying to get a collective sample to represent, or at least try to represent, whatever group of people they're trying to test that on. And in this regard, I don't think that was done. So I don't think you can make the statement that most, majority, all those kinds of things when you're talking about people. So I think that was, at least for me, one of the things that made it more offensive, because you kept emphasizing this more, most, majority, of black women. And ironically, being that you consider yourself a black woman, that you said on the second video, it just, to me, was very confusing. I didn't really quite understand. If you consider yourself a black woman, why do you have such horrible things to say about most black women, as you put it, black American women? Where do I start? You said that black women are desperate. Most black women, I'm going to keep saying this. You said most black women are desperate. You said they're the most dangerous women to date. That most of them want to be Asian women. That they're obsessed with Asian culture because they have no sense of their own, basically. That they're looking for father figures. They're not good. When you said that they're not good women, you said they don't know how to speak proper English. You said they're rude, they're loud, they're just not eligible women. I actually had to, and that most of them grew up in urban areas and have these different issues because of that. I was just really flabbergasted. I didn't know where all of this came from. I'm very careful, and I think what I would say to you, I'm not gonna badger you or bash you, because I think that would be ignorant. But I do want to open your mind. I think your mind, I guess you kind of, it looks like you're trying to think about what you said after you made it. But what I would suggest to you in the future going forth, if you're going to be, there's a lot of power in social media, with YouTube, with just internet, period. There's just so much. You never know who's going to view or see what you're saying. So I'm always cautious and conscious of that myself when I'm making videos, because I think as a YouTuber, we have kind of a moral responsibility to be cautious of what we say. Yes, we live in America, and yes, we have free speech here. But I think you gotta realize what you're saying before you say it, so that whatever response that you get, at least you can be accountable to yourself to know that what I said made sense. What I said was accurate. If you're going to state things in a factual way, it needs to be a fact. When you're putting something in your opinion, you can still offend people with your opinion, but I think it's just the way you word it. I think if maybe you had said something like, in my experiences with the black women that I've come across, has been my experience with the majority of people. Even that could be offensive to some people, but it's more specific to your personal experiences with a select group of black women, as opposed to just saying very, very casually that majority of black women, most black women, over and over and over and over. I think that's really where the problem came in, at least for me. Everybody's going to see it differently. The other thing, I was just so kind of flabbergasted by too was when you stated in your when you did your video response to this video, to the original video that you made, and you were saying that you had invited a very good friend of yours over who was a black American woman, and that, you know, you showed her the video. It seemed like you were showing it to her almost to basically to validate what you'd already done, because you were getting so many negative responses from the original video, and I guess you wanted another black woman to see it and kind of say, well, girl, it's nothing wrong with that. I see what you were saying, or and then you did not get that response from her. She was very offended. She was very upset, and she kind of brought some light to things and let you kind of open your mind to see it a different way. I was surprised that you were surprised by her reaction. I think that was also just like, very confusing and wild. I don't know what part of the world you live in or what your personal experiences have been. Like I said, whatever your experience is, it is your experience. But I think when you're going to speak about things, particularly you're going to make videos about it, it's important that you speak from your experiences, and that you're careful in how you word things. Once again, when you get into using words like majority, most, and all those types of things, if you haven't talked to the majority or most black women, you can't say what the majority of most black women are, what they think or what they feel or what they're like. So I hope this experience for you is a learning experience, and I'm sure you're getting a lot of flack for it because, like I said, it was very offensive. And but hopefully through this process, you'll learn to, if nothing else, think before you speak. I think that's very important for anyone to do. And one thing I want to point out, I think anytime we start talking about races and different cultures and things like that, it's important to note that in every race, in every culture, there are good and bad people. That's just a fact. There are good black people, there are bad black people. There are good white people, there are bad white people. I mean, it's on and on and on down the list. So I never would make a generalization about a whole group of people, no matter how many bad experiences I have. I'll just say, in my experiences with the people I dealt with, this is the experience that I had. But I would never go so far as to say all black people are a certain way, or all white people are a certain way, or all Asian people are a certain way, or all Hispanic people are a certain way. I think we have to get away from that. And I think all it does is fuel racism, because racism is alive and well. It's no secret. And when we do things, I think it's even more damaging that when you're, according to your second video, you said that you consider yourself to be a black woman. So I was just lost again. Like, if you consider yourself to be a black woman and you said all these negative things about black women, what does that say about you? What do you think about yourself? And you were saying how, I think when it talked about the culture, being obsessed with Asian culture, that black women, they're obsessed with Asian culture, and that they're saying hello, in Korean and all these types of things. And I don't think it's personally anything. I think it's enlightening to learn about other cultures or be interested in other things. I don't think that makes you, that you're wanting or trying to be whatever that other race or ethnicity, or culture, or whatever it is. You just may be embracing different cultures. You may be diversifying and just wanting to learn about the world, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, I just wanted to point that out as well. So basically, once again, it was a very, very, very interesting video. I was very disappointed to know that this is coming from a person who considers himself to be a black woman. Furthermore, just a lot of what you said, which I kind of touched on. But best wishes to you. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope that maybe this will open up a discussion and a dialogue, because people are just, you walk around with blinders on, and we make these rash generalizations about people all the time, and it's just not right, it's not fair, and it's totally offensive. And so, once again, hope you learn from this and you grow from this. And in the future, just, we should be thinking before we speak. That's why it's important, because words do have power, and people underestimate just how much power words can have. So that was my little response. Best wishes to you and yours. Take care.